Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. And we're live again. I'm back. I had to reboot my computer this morning when I was on with Liz and then with Alicia popped in. I don't know what happened, guys. My computer just went a little nuts. It just did. So, yeah, so here I am again. I didn't get to show you the pictures that I had ready to show you from many of you, your fur babies and all that, and a lot of crafts today. So I want to show you those. And I had some things on my mind that I kind of jotted down this morning, and then, well, last night actually, and I don't know, I wasn't feeling it this morning. I was just kind of went back to sleep, feeling a little down. I think I was a little shaken from yesterday, honestly. Those of you that were watching on the live or on the replay yesterday, about an hour in, you probably noticed that I got a little bit shaken, and yeah, I wasn't feeling up to doing anything this morning. And then my good friend Liz Ferris called and dragged me out of bed, not physically, but she didn't drag me. She just really encouraged me and she offered to come on with me. And instead of doing morning musings, we did morning muster because even though we don't want to give this guy any credit, but we don't want to give him any accolades because he doesn't deserve any, but LRH, AKA the indicted felon, um, it was his birthday. But instead of his birthday, Alicia suggested that uh, we call it Philip Gale Day, Phil Gale Day, which is Liz Gale Gale's brother that passed away on Elrich's birthday, and I think it's very fitting to name it Philip Gale Day. And there's some fabulous people that were in the chat that it's also their birthday. So yeah, so happy birthday to everybody except for you know who, right? So we'll celebrate them instead. So yes. And I had some things I wanted to share about narcissism. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. In case you didn't notice, guys, not really an expert at anything, but do know a little bit about narcissistic traits. And instead of using that indicted felon as an example, I'm going to use my very own cult leader as an example, Marlene Sweeney. You all know how I like to say her name any chance I get because she earned it, along with David Miscavige and L. Ron. So, hi. You know what? I'll do some greetings first. I'm so glad to see you all coming in. Great to see you again. And for those just tuning in that don't sometimes don't get to see me in the morning, I'm glad you're here. So this is great. Oh, already I got a new member. Yay! Thank you, Eclectic Jen, new member. I get so excited when I get a new cub. I get a new cub. Thank you so much for joining. I love that. Love that. Well, we got Yarn Prepper came in really early. Thank you so much. It's me, Jane. It's me, Jane. Jane, it's you. Hi. I'm back. Free Bob Ferris. Yes. Free Bob Ferris. And hit the like on your way in. Yes, thank you. Please hit the like if you like it. If you don't like it, you can hit the unlike. That's okay too. It's a free country, a free world, right? We're not in a cult. Mischief Manage. Oh, you did it. Yay. Thank you. And one of my fabulous mods, Dr. Who Heather. Hello, Dr. Heather. Doctor Who. I've never seen that. I gotta binge watch that. Definitely. Because I think I was firmly in a cult when that came out. So you got Joel McCoyne. Hello there. Good to see you again. Thank you for coming. Susan P. Hi there, friend. And we got But First Coffee. Oh, yes. Susie O. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Stay Spiria. Thank you for being here. Another fabulous mod. Thank you. Welcome back. Yes, welcome back, everybody. Rodo, good to see you. Pippi Longstocking Forever. I love that. Love that name. It's great. Mark Barker. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Gemini Girl 65. Hi from Central Florida. Hello. Hi there from Vermont. And Asen, is that Asen K? You changed your name? Hi, Marilyn. Hey, all. Greetings from Germany. Great to see you. All right. You coming to, I don't know, is there such thing as an afternoon muster? George Massey reporting for duty. Thank you. Another mod of mine. Awesome. And we got Chunk of Bacon. Little Chunk of Bacon. Long time lurker. Good to see you. Thank you for saying hello. I love when lurkers come out because I was a major lurker myself, guys, for many, many, many months. Julie Markham, hi there. Great to see you again. Oh, there you are, sweetheart. Hi again. Hey, Liz. We love you. We love you so much. We got Mandy Gonzalez. Great to see you, friend. Good to see you. Buffy Summers, still morning where you are. Good morning. Good morning. Pat. Oh, hello. Hello there. Tina McBride. Whoa, we got so many people. Thank you for coming, everybody. RSM. Hi there. Sorry if I'm missing anybody. Davlin 88. Beverly. Hey, Carrie Ann. Hey, Carrie Ann. We got Lena in Love. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday to all from Arctic, Norway. Yes, and got Yarn Pepper. Hello again. Wow, some of you are real troopers. You were here earlier this morning. Kansas Esky Gal. Hello again. So glad to see you guys again. Tweeter's mom, listening while driving. Okay, thank you for the reminder because I'll be sure to, instead of just talking, I'll read the questions. So, Lena in Love. Oh no, trigger warning for myself. Escaping a cult of one with bipolar. I think it's bipolar. I'm not sure what the other B stands for. With schizoid and narcissistic traits. Yes, definitely trigger warning, guys. I totally understand if you need to take a break, put your phone down. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for the reminder. So we got literally Cherry Bakewell, the dung heap, and a Xenu, and a little Davy. Yeah, we can do so we can do a Xenu Marlene with a Xenu and a dung heap, and we'll throw a little Davy in there for good measure, right? We can do a Xenu Marlene here. Because I was trying to do one this morning with Liz, and I just realized that we were on her StreamYard, so we couldn't do the overlay. So Xenu Marlene, everybody. For Rodney this time, I made some tea. That always cracks me up because I know even though I made the cup, I didn't plan on it to look like this. Rodney made me laugh so hard I choked. All right, who else we got here? John Van Geest, is it? Mastiff Mom, Missy, hi there. I guess I'll take down the banner for now. Xenu Marlene, everybody. All right. Who else we got? Oh, yeah, Kate, great to see you. Hello there. Oh, disorder. Okay, I thought it said BPB, I thought. Okay. I guess I was just being dyslexic. I thought that was a second P. Yes, that's what I thought it was too. Borderline personality disorder. Right. Yeah. Jolie, Xenu Dungy, Xenu Marlene. Yeah. Because whenever I think of dung heap, I think of Marlene because that's what she always said. That I was going to end up on the dung heap with my children. Mind candy. Thank you. Tamra June. Hey, great to see you. Great to see you. We got Maya. Everybody's showing up for muster, right? Reporting for muster. Uh-oh. Good question. Okay. I have been I can't even talk. I have been really good about ask Kelly because I have been better about heating my tea water on the stove, but today Yeah, I was in a hurry and I did it in the microwave. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna lose all my viewers. I know there's this big kettle gate about me putting my tea water in the microwave. It is the biggest controversy on all of SBTV. Sorry, guys. Mm, I know. I gotta get my act together. All the Rodneys. Oh, I'm gonna get beat up for that. I love the Rodney pointing between your eyes. Okay, everybody. Yes. Wrap your Rodney. Don't be silly. Wrap your Rodney. That's right. You guys are great. Oh, Mario's working and listening. Hi there, Mario. Joel McCoy comment. Thinking of the Philip Gale story, I have also lost important people too. It is so very important that we support mental health therapy. It matters. It can be a matter of life and death. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Joel. Absolutely. Yes, remembering Philip Gale and so many that we've lost, and absolutely, I'm glad that you brought that up. That mental health and therapy is so important. It can be a matter of life or death. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Oh, I know. I gotta buy okay. I gotta do this. All right, guys. I will. I when I'm done here, and okay, you're one of my mods. Please remind me that before the night's out, I've got to go on. I'll go on Amazon and order one. How's that? Or, yeah, I don't think I can make it to the store tonight. I do have to go to the pharmacy tonight, but we'll see. Yes, remind me. I will order one. I'm just so intimidated. I don't know. I don't know which one to order. I have gone online. I went to Walmart actually, looked at a bunch of them, turned around and just got so confused and left. And then I've gone online, but I'm so confused because some people say that the light up ones are no good. Some people are saying that the kettle ones, the ones that you put on directly on the stove, that are what is that, like stainless steel, are great, but they take a long time. And then yeah, I just don't know what to do. Oh, see, your kettle broke. See, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. Oh no, I definitely need some help. I have a hard time making decisions. Can't you tell? Can't you tell I was in a cult until I was 36? Don't be a shoddy, wrap your Rodney. That's right. I like that. I love that. Mischief Managed got their first electric kettle. Love it. Okay. Chunk of bacon. Because of Marilyn, my 17-year-old Aspie daughter has now added burns my biscuits to her phraseology. All right. Wow, that makes me feel cool. She's 17. That's awesome. How to tell Staceberian is English without her telling us. Yeah. You will remind me. Okay. Thank you. I deserve amazing cups of tea. Thank you, Staceberian. Oh, it's gonna be all about the electric kettles now. Oh boy, what did I start? Cuisinart electric kettle. I do love Cuisinart brand. I do love me some Cuisinart. Yes, there's so many, right, Carrie Ann? Yeah, there's so many to choose from. I get so confused. You ever try to buy cereal? It's like that. I want to buy a Rodney. You can email me. I can put you on the list. It's list is getting a little shorter, but yeah, you can anyone, interested, you can email me at coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com and I'll see what I can do. I don't have an Etsy store. I used to have like something in a store, like a booth in a store, and I also sold on my Facebook page that I have, handmade in the hollow. But because I'm doing such like they take a long time and it's more of like commissioned art pieces that I don't have any actual like stock, I don't have any inventory, so I just do them to order. So yeah. Comment, get yourself an electric one. It's fast and as the microwave, but way better. Okay. I've got to do that. I'm just starting some things, guys. Melissa, hey there. Melissa Helverson, MD. 2 lives in 1 day. What a blessing. I've had many narcissists in my life, finally free from them all. Yes. Thank goodness for that. A Cinderella's glass slipper. Hi, Marilyn in chat. Just catching up on fast replay. Oh, we're just still doing readings, so that's okay. Marilyn Honig, Coffee Cults and Crafts. Do you have a pattern for Rodney that you sell? Not yet. I'm still kind of working it out. I don't know how to write them. I've never written a pattern. I did have a friend that was testing them for me, but I don't have it start to finish. So yeah, that's something I should definitely work on. And I'm not really sure how to write one. The language tends to be sometimes confusing because there's different ways to write a pattern or anyways, there's different ways to read a pattern because I've never actually really written a formal pattern. So, but I'll see what I can do. Oh, $80, Asen. Oh, I can try that. Doctor Who Heather, don't find yourself on the dung heap. Like and subscribe today. That's right. That's right. Yarn Pupper. I will never sell on Etsy. I just do word of mouth. I sell doilies and multiple scrubbies. I love doilies. I love myself a lace doily. So pretty. Be a good way for people to make their own runnies. Yeah. You can look into that. You should not sell your pattern ever. Yeah, that's kind of what my husband has said. Oh, we'll see. We shall see. So, all right. I want to show you guys something and give you a little bit of background, and I want to get your input because I always like to get your input. And then I got pictures to show you later on. Used to make doilies. Yes, I love doilies. All right, now I have doilies on the brain. Can't help it. I love myself a doily. Okay, let's do this. Okay, can you guys see this okay? It's just a list. I've got a couple of screenshots to show you, some slides to show you, and then I will minimize it again and talk about some things. So we've got these, this says traits of a narcissist, and this isn't a, official list. It's just one thing I found online. I'm sure there's other ways to describe it. There's probably some other traits that we can talk about. And I just want to look at my notes because I had one more thing I had jotted down at one point. Okay, so it says traits of a narcissist. And the first one says lack of empathy and need for excessive admiration, sense of entitlement, grandiose, interpersonally exploitative behavior, lack of responsibility, manipulative, controlling, disregard for other people, exaggerating achievements and talents, interactions are superficial, reacting negatively to criticism, behaving in an arrogant manner, communal narcissism, grandiosity, must be the center of attention, seeking of validation, setting boundaries, vulnerability to life transitions. So I'm going to go through, I'm probably not going to go through all of these, but I want to go through some of them. And as an example, I just want to show you, some of you have already seen pictures, but show you these. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had, let me load it again. One sec, guys. I think I have to stop it. I'm going to show you a couple more pictures along those lines. All right, try that again. Sorry, I'm always talking to myself when I'm doing this. Okay, and there we go. That is Marlene Sweeney. That was when we lived at we called it the inn because it was an old inn building that we lived on the top floor, and then we had church services on the bottom floor. This is her sitting near a one of the entrances. That's Marlene. That was probably in the I would say around 93, maybe 93 or 94. And this is probably around, I would say maybe 96. I had lost 40 pounds. That's Marlene. That's me, sitting down. That's Marlene standing over me. Oddly enough, I have a lot of pictures of her standing over me. And I have a lot of pictures of me not looking very happy like that. And then having a very blank stare there. And then this is Marlene at our wedding. Doesn't she look thrilled? Yeah, so that's her. And want to go through some traits here. Let me stop screen. Yeah, so I'm just going to start some things because people are giving some input already. Yes, say Bob Ferris. Free Bob Ferris. Yes, please. Free Bob Ferris. Um, Spirit traits will also depend on what type of narcissist you're dealing with, which is super fun. Yes, right. There's a lot of different types of narcissism. Exactly. There's, like I mentioned there, communal narcissism. What else is there? There's like malignant. There's vulnerable narcissist. Another one I can't remember. Quite a few. Yeah. Got a worrying amount of experience. Yeah, definitely trigger warning here, guys, to talk about that. Yeah. Boo, Marlene. Yeah. Kelly. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. You're very sweet. You're welcome. Yeah, it's hard to look at it, but I'm getting more comfortable. It's been only a couple years since I've even been able to really say her name. So yeah, I guess I'm feeling comfortable with you guys. You know? Yeah. Me, Jane. Question. She married you and Duncan. Are you really married? I wouldn't trust her. I wouldn't trust her. Marry again. Well, the good news is we've been married for 26 years. So I'm sure, we do have a marriage license, but her ordination was a little iffy. But I guess since you can get them online these days, it probably is. I think it's official. I mean, I would think after 26 years, what is it, common law, you know? And we've got 3 kids and we file jointly and they've never given us a hard time. But yeah, um, we've talked about renewing our vows, but Duncan's funny about that. He's like, "Hey, I meant it the first time." So he's like, "I said I'd do 26 years ago. Isn't that good enough?" So yeah. Thank you, Dr. Who Heather. Yeah. Trigger warning. Sensitive topics may be discussed. If you need to, please step away. We'll see you at the next slide. Take care of yourself above all else. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Mischief Managed. Kudos on saying her name, Marilyn, taking your power back. Yeah. Oh, so we are legally married. Okay. Marriage license. Okay. Thank you. Oh, you can marry us again? All right. I'll keep that in mind. I think Doug he's like, I'm good. He's like, I only got married once. But yeah. Ordained, but still need to register with the country. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, so I want to go through some of the traits and talk about some examples. And if you have a question, comment, anything that you would like to share, just put question or comment because I don't have anyone in StreamYard, so I just want to be able to see them. And I don't want to share anything personal on the screen. I know it's public because you're in the chat, but I don't want to pop up anything on the screen that might be addressed to somebody else or personal that you wouldn't want on the screen. So if you don't mind me sharing it, then go ahead and put comment or question. Okay. So I just want to go through these real quick. Okay. All right. Let me get my list here. Okay. So I thought it would be, not a bad idea to talk about my own experience with my own cult leader. Even though I was in a cult, which was, upwards of 50 people, I also felt like I was in a cult of one or cult of two, right? With Marlene. It was very much an abusive relationship between her and I, and between her and many other people too. And part of the reason I think for that was that she tended to isolate people, and she wanted all the focus on her. She wanted the admiration, if that makes sense. She wanted us to be dependent and codependent totally on her, you know. Thank you, Dragonfly. Yes, we'll see you in the next live. Yes, I totally understand. Absolutely. Take care of yourself. Everyone take care of yourself. Absolutely. So the first one is lack of empathy. And we see that in cults. We talk about Scientology a lot, that there's no, unconditional love, a lack of empathy. There's all those training routines that make you just cut off from your emotions, and also from your own family, from your own children, not to have empathy, treating your children like adults. There was a version of that in my cult as well. And Marlene, after all the love bombing was done, right? And she got down to business with you. There was a lack of empathy, and a lot of times she would say it was for the good of the cause, that it was a good thing. And it makes me think of that awful um that movie or whatever, that video that I had watched with Kelly. I'd never seen it before, but we did a review, we just did a reaction to a video the other day, and one of the points that it made about cults is that it'll drive you to almost feeling like you're going insane, and it'll be like, "That's a good thing, that's a good thing." So whenever you were suffering, whenever she would be, like, cruel, kind of that cruel to be kind thing, she would always do that, like, "Oh, this is tough love. Oh, this is God cleansing you. This is a good thing. This is a good thing." When you felt like you were being, totally abused, you were like, you were feeling like you were not in your body. I would feel very fragmented, I guess is a good way to put it. And she not only had lack of empathy, but she would encourage us to withhold compassion and empathy for other people. And it was, it got really bad where there was one girl that was in our cult that was prone to unaliving herself and made some attempts. And I was the one that had to go bring her to the hospital. And it was basically said that she was doing it for attention, or she brought it on herself. And it was just like annoying, Now I look back and I'm horrified, and I'm like, oh my God, like this, she needed compassion. She didn't need to be yelled at for doing this. So yeah, it's very opposite day in cults, you know. Um, Need for excessive admiration. That was another thing that Marlene would do, was she would say that she was humble and didn't want admiration, but she expected loyalty, admiration. And then I'm going to bring it into the sense of entitlement. Now, her birthday, which I think I blocked out of my mind because I'm surprised I didn't remember this year, is February 25th, which just went by a few weeks ago. It was like as big or bigger than today with LRH. I mean, of course, it was a different thing because we were such a small group, but when I was in the cult, I only had 2 credit cards, guys. And those 2 credit cards I did not use for myself. There was Land's End and LL Bean, and those were used for Marlene's birthday and Christmas. She would have a list. She would hand out a list. And I think that I've heard Sea Org, former Sea Org members say that Dave Miscavige would, even though they only made like $40 a week, that he would have a whole list of things. And sometimes it was like big things like a car or something. And people would have to take it out of that $40, right? Hey, Cal, catching up. Great stream with Natalie. She just finished a stream with Natalie. That was amazing. Great job, Kelly Copter. Yeah, so, so she did have a sense of entitlement, and she always was dressed to the nines. She always had nice things around her, and we were expected to be poor. We were expected to give every extra penny to the church or to the cult, and our kids went without. It was just, yeah, it was definitely deprivation for us and entitlement for her. Um, Grandiose. I wanna talk about that probably later too. Oh, grandiosity, same thing, I guess. Um, yeah, I think that cult leaders are prone to this, especially when they have and also this can totally um, be applied to a relationship as well. But in particular, like with Marlene, she always had these delusions of grandeur, and you hear it with like the big cult leaders, right, of our day, right? The ones that we've heard about, like Jim Jones and David Koresh and Rajneesh and all them, they always have this kind of pie in the sky thing where it's like, we're going to have this utopia. Marlene always said that if we were good, we would be caught up in the rapture and God would honor us. And if we I mean, she didn't say belittle ourselves. She would say humble yourself, but it was like becoming nothing, becoming of like empty vessels, so in embracing suffering and having our kids suffer and all that, that you would be rewarded someday in heaven, right? And so it was just this suffering thing. But she always had this like grandiose idea of she was going to be exalted, and it was just all these visions, and she was a prophetess, right? So she knew everything, so she just had these like delusions of grandeur, and we were told that it was God talking to her, I mean, now I look back and I'm just like, hmm, that doesn't sound right. But because it was so slow, like they say with the frog being boiled in the pot of water, and I was, not excuses, but I was young and impressionable, and also in some ways desperate. I didn't have the family connection or the support system. And in a lot of cases, that's what cults will prey on. They'll go to college campuses. And one thing just want to say right now is I it's interesting to me that so many of these orgs that are being visited by the protesters and by people who are auditing, doing the First Amendment audits in front of the orgs, a lot of them are located right near college campuses, and it does my heart good that people like Pearl Snappy and the people in Chicago near Columbia College and people in all these other locations are standing out there and telling these college kids, it's a cult, it's a human trafficking cult, it's a child trafficking, you know, horrible cult, it's a cult, because those are, one of the demographics that cults will target. So I get very passionate about that. Can you tell my biscuits are burning when I think about that? So she sounds like a crazy woman. Yeah. Um, Not I don't think she's well. I think she really did need, instead of having a following, I think she probably did need some therapy. But she didn't really believe in it because, God would whatever, that God will heal everything, and you don't need that, according to her. So, Jolie, my ex-husband expected a big to-do for his 40th from me when we had only been dating a few weeks. That should have been my sign. Yeah, that could be a sign, especially if they don't reciprocate or really give the same, regard for other people that they expect from somebody else, And yeah, dating a few weeks and expecting that, I think that there shouldn't be any expectations like that, really. People want to do it, that's one thing. You know, Doctor Who Heather, I had an ex-boyfriend who did the same, fair gamed me. Yeah, they do that, right? Oh, I'm sorry. It was a comment from this. Okay. It was a reaction to this one. Pamela SP Butterfly comment. It can be a cult of two. My hubby and I have been supporting a friend as she's escaped a culty abusive marriage. It has been very difficult. He's been fair gaming her because he lost control. Yeah, I believe that. They get angry, right? When they don't have control. Um, and that can be really scary. It really can. So I'm so glad that you and your husband have been giving her support because that's definitely what people need when they're experiencing that. Definitely. Just starting some things and Timber June, my old church has a prophet. I really started, yeah. When you hear people self-proclaim, being a self-proclaimed prophet or prophetess, yeah, that's definitely a red flag for me too. Because if they say that they can hear from God and you can't, mm, and I should have known. I feel like I should have known. So, interpersonally exploitative behavior. Yeah, there's all kinds of facets to that. There's all kinds of facets to that. You look at Scientology as an example. They exploit so many people, right? The youth, the elderly. They just take their money, their time, everything, and don't give back. In our case, yeah, we were just being used for Marlene's purpose. It just not right, you know. Comment, it's like dealing with someone who has borderline personality disorder. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about that. I would like to do, a study on that, but yeah, it does sound like it's very similar and the traits are kind of, and also I wanted to say this too, that I think people can have some of these traits without being like full-blown narcissists. Like I said, I'm not a doctor or psychologist, psychiatrist. I can't, even with Marlene, like I'm not diagnosing her. I'm just saying a lot of these things she just checks off a lot of these boxes. So, yeah, definitely. Um Lack of responsibility. Um I'm not sure what to think of that except that in Marlene's case, she would she would act like she was doing so much, but she really wasn't. Like she put all the responsibility on us, right? And she would, she'd say, I would never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. But I never saw her do it. I never saw her on her hands and knees with bare hands. She would give me like a little sponge, no gloves, nothing, no, you get the toilet cleaners that have like you know, like a handle and the scrubby. No, 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 no. I had to put my hand inside the toilet bowl with my bare hands, no gloves, and wash it with a rag or a, cleaning like a little sponge inside. And it was way too quote humble me. Never saw her do that. She said she used to do it. I highly don't believe it. I can still to this day just feel like the ammonia because I had no gloves, I had no mask or anything. She would have like straight ammonia and have us have boiling hot water. And when it hit, when the ammonia hit the hot water, it would just like smart inside your nostrils. Like, ugh. I hate that to this day. And I think Liz Ferris talks about that too. Did I see you? Oh, there you are. Hey, sweetie. Thanks for coming on with me earlier. I fixed my computer, I think. I had to reboot it. Sorry about just disappearing on you, but I thought I'd come back on and show the pictures that I didn't get to show earlier of the puppies and the kitties and the art projects. And also I had the little thing about narcissism I wanted to talk about too. So Queen Liz, yes. Free Bob Paris. Hey there. So good to see you, honey. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. I'm just starting some things. Great input, everybody. Good to see you all coming in. Susan P. I think if God tried to talk to Marlene Sweeney, she would not hear it. I feel they both think they're God. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. She thought she was God. Right. Um, okay. Oh, we got a question. All right. Miss Tara Green, what do you think of Relatable Reese and what do you think of Michelle Carpenter? I absolutely adore Relatable Reese. She's a friend. She's amazing. Yeah, love her to pieces. Michelle Carpenter. Um, no comment. That's all I have to say. Um, yeah, everybody's, human, and I don't hate anybody, but yeah, I'd probably rather not mention, my thoughts on that. But yeah, thank you for asking, though. Thank you for asking. Okay, um, going to some more start. See, I put up the hard questions, even if I don't feel like I can answer them. I don't shy away from tough questions. Uh, may not always get an answer or the answer you want, but I do, as long as they're respectful and you're not calling me toxic or, being super rude. I will do my best to answer. Yeah. Okay, trying again. Oh, did I miss your question? I know someone who hasn't taken responsibility for their part. Oh, right, not responsible. That's a good way. Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. Yeah, that makes sense. She was I took it as like her not being responsible as in like she didn't take responsibility for even like the things that she put on us. But yeah, that's true. Didn't take responsibility for the abuse. Never apologized. Never said she was sorry about anything. Um, yeah, never taking responsibility. Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, let me look at some more. Lack of responsibility. Yeah. So lack of taking responsibility. Manipulative. I think that's a given. Yeah, very manipulative. Using things like guilt, shame, um, like emotional manipulation. Um, yeah, manipulating to manipulate your behavior, withholding information, right? Your thoughts, emotions, the bite model, definitely. Also, another thing that I had put in my notes, but I never, um, yeah, the initial love bombing, saying you're special, I love you, you're great, treating you great, like this is awesome, and then withholding their approval where you have to work for it, where that's all that you can think about sometimes is whether that person is approving of you or not. And that's not okay. That's not no way to live at all. And whether it's, you know, a cult leader, a job situation that's toxic, a a relationship, that's no way to live. Definitely not. Uh, oh, thank you. Help support our mama bear and become a cub. Yes, I love that. Memberships are here. That's right. Thank you. Yes, I love when I get new cubs. Yes. I love it. All right. Just gonna go through a few more and then you guys got some great comments and questions. This is awesome. Okay. Let me go back to my list here. Okay. Manipulative, controlling. We've kind of talked about that. I know we'll talk about it more when I get to your questions and comments. Um, Exaggerating achievements and talents. Yeah, we've definitely seen that with Elron there. With Marlene, yeah, she would brag about having a lot of like intelligence as far as like book smarts, but I don't think she had any degrees. Not that was the only gauge of being book smart, but um she was studious because she'd read the Bible like all the time and interpret it how she wanted to. She also would brag about how she used to have another ministry, and it was a live-in ministry like Door of Hope was. It was called Maranatha, and she blamed it on her husband. She said her husband became an alcoholic, cheated on her, and left her, and the ministry went into foreclosure. And it was a little similar to Door of Hope in that it was a big building, but it actually had like cabins outside, and on the property, but it was a big old farmhouse. And I guess she always wanted to have a ministry. She always wanted to have people, um, worshiping her is what I think, you know. Okay, reacting negatively to criticism. Yeah, you could never ever question her. Mm-mm. You could never even mention to anybody else that she did anything even slightly um, off. You couldn't ask questions. No, 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 no. And she would flip out, guys. She would scream and yell. Towards the end, she actually like threw herself on the floor. A 60-year-old woman just threw herself on the floor in front of my feet, at my feet. And she's just like, "What do you want me to do? What do you?" And I was just like, yeah, that was definitely one of the last straw. Like, we're out of here. This is nuts. But we had already said, my old church had a Maranatha group. Yeah, Maranatha is just a name that a lot of people use. Um, just like remnant or holy mother, it's just a word from the Bible that a lot of churches will adopt as a name of something, but it wasn't affiliated with anything else. No. um all right, I just wanted to reactive negatively to criticism, um behaving in an arrogant manner. Yeah, that's definite. Communal narcissism. I thought this was interesting. I thought it meant like some narcissists just like to start communes like ours, but really what it means is when you are like a social narcissist, you want to gather people around you, and you lift yourself up over them and act as if you have something to offer everyone that they don't have, and that you're just better than everyone. And that definitely with Marlene was a thing. Absolutely. Um, Grandiosity, we talked about that. Must be the center of attention. Absolutely. Um, Seeking validation. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt seeking validation. And got us seeking validation from her, you know. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure what I mean about vulnerability to life transitions. Um, In her case, she was pretty dysfunctional without us, I think, because she really couldn't like didn't she made me feel like I was nothing without her, but then I realized she was nothing without all of us. We were all supporting her. We were doing everything for her. We were feeding her, like her supply of, I think of HG tutor, right? Giving her fuel. And I just before I get to your questions and comments, I want to share something that I've only shared with a very few people, and I don't even like to talk about it because I don't want it to be misconstrued that I'm like saying I'm capitalizing on my relationship with someone. But I did in the past, year, not quite a year, maybe 8 months or so before our friend, many of our friends, Doug Scott Kramer of Days But Not Confused passed away. I remember going to him, I don't know, maybe it was sometime in like October, November. And I just said to him, I was like, why do I just seem to attract narcissists? Or not even just people that just are like, target me like they want, like have like either an agenda, or they're just, in some cases, like male, like not even anything, um untoward. Like, I mean, I'm married, right? And I'm happily married. Just like weird, like even a professional relationship or even online here, kind of a misogynistic, like you should do this or you shouldn't do this, or just, seek me out to like try to manipulate me. And he said, and Doug said something, in a very Doug way. And he's like, "Dude, they're always gonna seek you out. There's nothing they're going to." And I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because they can smell it in you." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, You're an empath." He goes, "It's obvious. You're an empath. And there's nothing you can do about it. They're always gonna come after you." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, how do I stop it? Like, don't tell me that." Because I was like, he made me feel like I was like I had no hope. And he said, "No, there's hope. There's hope." And he said, yeah, he said that HG tutor who is a you can look him up online. He has a channel, and he is a self-aware narcissist. And he even if you pay money, he can even do like a test. You can kind of enter all this like data in about somebody and I think it's like $150 or something, and you can take like you can enter them in to see if they're narcissists or something like that. So I thought it'd be interesting to do that for Marlene, but I kind of already know she is, but it would be interesting to see his findings. But what what Doug said is that you have to cut off their supply. You have to cut off their fuel. You don't feed them. Don't engage, right? And I said to him, because there was somebody in particular that I'd been friends with that just kept getting burned over and over and over. And then I felt bad. And I said, but I feel bad. I feel bad. And Doug's like, there you go. That's your issue, you know? And I realize I find myself saying that all the time. And I don't know if you guys can relate, is that I feel bad. It's like I don't want to just cut somebody off, but because I feel bad. But then I realize it's like, well, you know, you got to think about yourself too. And if they're just going to do it over and over and over and over and over and hurt you, and they're not giving you the same consideration that you're giving them, then that's not okay. It's not okay. And I'm very, very grateful, very thankful that I have a husband and good friends that are not like that. So yeah, it's been hurt. It's been very painful lesson. And I'm still learning it, guys. I'm still learning it. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And let me see if I'm missing any more comments or questions. I'll star them and then I'll go back through to the start. So if you got any questions or comments you want me to start now before I go into the things, so I don't once I go into the start, I won't be able to see the live chat. So okay. Bishop Manage comment. I had a friend who we called a freak magnet. Boundaries must be set. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Am I a freak magnet? I don't know why that is. It just makes me mad. And sometimes I even say to these people, like, would you dare go into Liz Ferris's chat or Nora's chat and say the shit that you come in and say words to me and accuse me of stuff? Would you dare? Right? I don't think so. I think the answer is no. But I just don't know. Um all right. All right, guys, I'm just starting some things and then I'll go back, promise. Okay. All righty. Got George Massey. Comment. Great book to read to understand and spot a narcissist is People of the Lie by Scott Peck. Totally changed my perspective and taught me how to spot and avoid narcissists. I'll have to look into that. Does it have an audio version? Because I would definitely listen to it. Thank you for that. Joe McCoy comment. I have dealt with a narcissist all my life, my father. It can destroy you if you let them. I've had to fight to be my own person, but it's worth it. They never stop. You can't give in. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. Just please stand by for a quick sip. Mischief managed question. So is Scientology creating narcissists? That's a really good question. I've heard that talked about. I mean, I'm not the one to really ask, except that I remember Doug speaking about it quite a bit, and he would say yes, that they do. Also, that they may tend to attract them. because the way that they present things, like, the lack of empathy. These are things that they teach you, right? And yeah, I think the answer would be probably yes in some cases. We've seen, a lot of the second gens that were born in, that didn't have a choice to be Scientologists, have, luckily not had those traits or broken out of that. So, yeah, it would be an interesting study to do. Um, see. Asen, comment. There are no excuses needed, Marilyn. Everybody, I mean everybody, can fall into the nets of a narcissist. One thing they can do good is wrap people around their fingers with charm at first. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, Cinderella's glass slipper. Scientology is a cult but calls itself a church to get 501c3 status with the IRS. That's all the similarity to a church it has. Agreed. I agree with that. Amy Lee SP, hi there. Hello, Marilyn. Spatula. Yes. The spatulas were flying yesterday, weren't they? Uh, Persephone's pomegranate. I love that. Just got here, so rewind, but wanted to recommend Dr. Ramani's channel here on YouTube if anyone's interested in exploring narcissism further. All right. Thank you for that. Definitely take note of that. I'm interested. Gretchen only. Hey there, Gretchen. Comment. Typically, narcissists take all the credit and none of the blame. Yep. Yep. And they turn things around on you. And yeah, actually, Natalie and Kelly were just talking about that on the stream earlier about if what the church or cult or whatever is telling you to do, if it doesn't work for you, it's your fault, right? If they're not going to take the blame. And the same with a narcissist one-on-one. Oh, sorry. This gets blurry. Did it work? I don't know. It probably will fix itself, but for some reason it's blurry. Okay. Doctor Who Heather, I think a lot of these traits are easily hidden. For instance, I met a few people who seem very empathetic, but in reality, it's all an act. Yeah. And they can play the long game, can't they? Because it could be years before you realize, right? Sorry, guys. That's driving me crazy. There it goes. There it goes. It just drives me nuts. And I think my eyes are going cross, and I realize it's the camera, not my eyes, for once. Puffy Summers. I know someone who hasn't taken responsibility for things, their part in things that have happened. Yeah, absolutely. It's me, Jane. It's me, Jane. I worked with a waitress. She ran around like she was doing something, getting nothing done. And she tired me out. Yeah, I bet. Just watching her. Yeah, do a whole lot of nothing, run in circles. I believe it. Yep. Just looking for some more comments, questions. Gretchen only. Gaslighting is a huge tactic. Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking that I was like going crazy. And Marlene used to just play these mental tricks on me, and it was ugh, that's like a little bit triggering. Yeah. Ugh. It's hard. It's hard, isn't it? To talk about these things because sometimes like it kind of brings you back, and but then at the same time, I'm glad to talk about it in a way because I feel like it's healing. It's like being able to face it and maybe help somebody else. So, but it definitely can be triggering too. Lumidawa question: did she think she was not human, a god that didn't make mistakes? Good question. She would say that she was walking in the spirit, and that meant that her human sin nature was dead. Like she called it being dead to self. So she was dead to self, which is a joke because that's all she thought about was herself. But she would say she was dead to self and alive to the spirit, right? So she would say that it's not her but God, working through her, moving through her. So she didn't say she was God, but she would say that, what she said and did was of God. You know what I mean? Because she was a, quote, "empty vessel that was filled with the Holy Spirit." That's what she would claim. So, yeah, she would, take all the credit, none of the blame. Absolutely. And she would say, "Oh, I'm human, I'm not perfect," but in in practice, she would act like she's perfect, and we knew she wasn't. But it was hard to even admit that to ourselves, let alone anyone else, because we had the snitch culture and the separation and the codependence on her. So, Joe McCoy comment, "Beware of gifts from a narcissist. There are always strings attached, always." Yeah, I believe that. Kate Vandercombe comment, "Here on YouTube, Dr. Kirk Honda has awesome deep dives on narcissism and bipolar disorder at Psychology in Seattle. He's a psychologist and a professor in psychology. Highly recommended." Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm going to start delving into that because I have read some books in the past and, well, not read, listened to books because I don't read, guys. I should, but yeah, I I am interested in that. And like I said, for a while, it was really hard for me to even face it and really think about it because I would get kind of like flashbacks of things from before. And I was so conditioned to think all of that was my fault that it was really hard to change my mind about it. But I'm doing it. Cinderella's glass slipper, Marilyn, I'm so glad you got out. Your worship was definitely her fuel. Yeah, I see that now. I see that now. Mastiff, Missy comment, Marlene sounds like my step monster. Um, I still waiting patiently for a house to fall on her. Not Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Yeah, right? Right? Brandy, you're a fine girl. Great to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, my guilt kicks in hardcore. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Brandy, again, we are all a bit of a freak magnet. It's okay. I'm learning too. Yeah, we can learn together, right? If you recognize it and you realize that you're worth it, right? That sorry, I'm getting emotional. Someone asked Kelly Copter during her stream where her Kleenex were, and I was yelling at the screen, "I have some. I always have some." Um, yeah. It this is hard to talk about these things, right? It's like it can be very emotional, but it also can be very healing as well. Chrissy Never in Newton. Hi there. Comment. I too and am an empath. I am learning to create positive sorry. Let's start again. Comment. I too am an empath. I am learning to create positivity boundaries and my confidence that can have an opinion and still be kind. Okay, I get it now. My confidence that I can have an opinion and still be kind. Right. Um yeah, having that balance. I can understand because lately when I come on here and talk about things that are hard to talk about and even some issues that have come up with, hate to mention the AF word, but the After My Foundation, my Grinder, all that stuff. Not my favorite topic, not my favorite topic, but I felt like it, needed to be talked about. And all of you have a right to talk about things and ask questions. So yeah, it's been it's been freeing to be able to talk about things and not let people gaslight me. Like, yesterday. Not gonna mention names. If you wanna know, you can watch my stream from yesterday, an hour in. Um, Someone who I thought was a friend came in and just accused me of things, and it really hurt. It really hurt. It really threw me off, really threw me for a loop. I had to talk to some of my friends, like, "Guys, is this true?" And they were like, "No." Like, "Don't just be nice to me, tell me for sure." And then I went back and looked and I was like, "I don't think I was being toxic." So, yeah, so that happened, and, yeah, I really do want to know when I'm being off, but I don't think I was, and, I'm to the point where I'm not gonna let anybody tell me that I can't talk, that I can't be myself, you know? So, um, yeah, I guess That's why it's called Coffee Cults and Crafts and not somebody else's name, right? And, I'm glad you're all here. Glad you haven't abandoned me. And it's great to be able to talk about things and be ourselves. So, I want that for all of us. So, um Brandy again. I love your comments. That's why I love Doug. He knew. This is the best description I've ever heard. I used to wonder why too, but I learned I recently what I had to do on my part. Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah, Doug knew. He knew so much, and he taught us so much, didn't he? And he still is. He's still teaching us stuff from things that he told us that we remember. His videos are still there. His spirit is still here. I really firmly believe that. Um, I don't know what I believe in, but I do believe that in some ways we're connected, right? Um, yeah, I still feel his spirit out there somewhere, and I want to I wanna continue it. I wanna continue, um, just talking about these things and, learning, right? And to be brave. He was very, very brave. So, alright, guys, I'm gonna see if I have any more questions, go back into the live chat. Thank you so much for all the love, guys. Appreciate that. Cinderella's glass slipper, genuinely empathetic? Yes, genuinely empathetic people who have blind spots definitely attract narcissists. Empaths need to learn how to spot the signs and ward them off at the get-go. Mm, that is a very good point. Yeah, because I find myself more often trying to get away from these situations than avoiding them, you know? So, that's a really good point, and, I think hopefully some of these books and YouTube channels and things that people are recommending, maybe can help us with that, so I definitely wanna look into it, and we can report back here and talk about it. I think that would be great. Gretchen only, they need a constant flow of narcissistic supply to feed their ego. Right, exactly. That's basically what Doug was telling me. Yep. Um, Stuart, hi there, Stuart Polly. You want to talk about manipulative. Aaron did a video on the birthday game results being revealed to different orgs at different times, and the birthday game at uh, address celebration isn't being shown live. That's manipulative, yeah. I did see part of that, and then I was getting ready for this live, but I'll have to go back and watch that. But yeah, I did hear him say to suggest to people if they call, the different orgs and ask them what the date is, because again, that's very sounds very culty. Sounds very culty for them to do it. Hey there, SM Stenville. Question: which channel was your first when you started to follow anti-Scientology YouTube? Good question. So let's see, it was a little bit of a progression because I started watching, in 2017, like many of us, started watching the Leah Remini the Aftermath show, and then I got really into during COVID. I was uh, listening to the Fair Game podcast, and that kind of turned me on to YouTube because you could listen to it on YouTube. There were a couple actual videos that they did, maybe one or two, and then I saw some interviews with Mike Rinder and some of the other contributors. Also, that's how I found Doug Scott Kramer. He was on Andrew Gold. And I guess the answer to that would probably be, believe it or not, I think it was Andrew Gold. I was watching one of his, and I was aware of with Levin because I did watch some of his interviews, but he wasn't the the Aaron Smith Levin of now. Like, he didn't have the channel that he has now. He would do some interviews. So I did watch some interviews of his. I also saw Doug Scott Kramer um on Andrew Gold, and then started watching him. His channel got taken down, then it came back. got very into Aaron's channel, and then, of course, Mike Rinder kinda came back. I had been already following him on Fair Game Podcast, all that, and then, yeah, it just kind of grew from there, and, the rest is history as far as the dawn of SBTV and how I kinda came out of the chats, was crocheting things, and then, ended up, doing, like, a little show with the Never Ends and some of the Never Ends, and then, yeah, got my own channel. I started my own channel last June. So, yeah, that's how it all happened. It's interesting to look back and see the beginnings of it, definitely. So, just gonna go through. I know I probably missed some of your questions and comments. Yes, thank you, Mr. Marilyn, never shut up. I'm trying. I'm trying. Um, Yarn Pepper, I hope you blocked him. I was here. Actually, one of my friends that also has a wrench, one of the creators, did remove him right away. I'll be honest, guys. I did block them on the ways they could message me privately. Um, but I might just unblock them on YouTube here because I kind of feel, and I want to get your input about this, guys. Guys, gals, everybody, anybody. Um, I feel like maybe I should just keep them off of my YouTube too, but I feel like if they wanna talk to me, it should be public. I don't wanna give anyone like that any avenue to, get into my head or reach me privately. But yeah, I feel like, a lot of these people work in darkness, and if they really have something to say, yeah, come on my channel, call me toxic, see what happens, you know? Um, they tend to not wanna mention names on their own channel, but I think that's kinda cowardly. That's just my opinion, but I think if you're gonna talk about me, name my name. Don't just quote me and everybody knows who you're talking about. Not everybody, but quite a few people know, and then they're in my inbox saying, "So and so is talking about you right now, live, quoting you." So, yeah, I don't know. Either I'll just keep it completely cut off, or I might just unblock them on a public forum. We'll see. 'Cause I think everybody should be privy to this because I don't feel like certain people deserve to have that relationship with you where they talk to you privately anymore. Because I think that's toxic. I think that's toxic. Just my humble opinion. So, that's right. Vessel of God, give me a break. Probably a vessel of bullshit. That's pretty much what it boiled down to, Dora Folk. Yep. Yeah. She was always talking about emptying yourself, emptying yourself. Ugh. Oh, drink some water. Why am I scratchy? There. Is that better? Probably not. A little better. Hey, Tip 45. Thank you for your membership. I saw that you joined earlier. Thank you so much. That's amazing. I'm so glad to have another new cub. How many new cubs? Love it. Tip 45 comment. Many narcissists have that godlike complex. Absolutely. I'm I'm finding that. Yep. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Julie. If talking about it upsets you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Um, I try to be I try to be aware of it, I'll be okay, and then for some reason, something'll just like, "Ooh, okay, I gotta back off on that one." But thank you, I appreciate that, and you're absolutely right. Yep. Mm. Buffy Summers, Scientology needs to stop calling itself a church. It's not a church, it's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult of Scientology, not a church of Scientology. I agree with that. Yep. Mischief Managed comment. I have some of these traits. I have just learned that being given up at birth really messes up your developing brain. Not taking responsibility, etc., comes from fear for me. Still learning. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think in my case too, I have seen yeah, I've seen some of these traits in me. I could be superficial. I could, respond negatively to criticism. Behave in a in an arrogant manner, but I think that if you are aware of it and open to it, I don't know, I think maybe Dr. Gretchen would have more input on this, but you can have certain traits that you're working on, you're aware of, and even if you're not aware, if you're open to it, I don't think that makes you like a full-blown narcissist where you're just you don't care, and you don't have any empathy, and you don't even care to have any empathy. You don't even care to know. You don't even care to know that you don't. You know. You know. that's that's how I see it. But yeah, I'm not super sure. But um, the Cinderella's Last Slipper. My sister married a narcissist, and I watched him degrade her over years. I helped her leave, but she still had to put up with him due to child custody arrangement. She learned to be a gray rock. Yeah, that's tough when there's children involved. Absolutely. And that's amazing of you to give her that support. I'm sure she very much needed. Absolutely. Mhm. Happy birthday, Raz. Yeah, happy birthday to Raz and your cat Precious. All right. Happy birthday. That's great. It's me, Jane. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. Yes. Was that from the movie Bambi? Like the little, thumper, like, "If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all." Yep, Mama Rabbit, she was smart. Mm, mm. Watching Oh No, Nora the other day, reading what Liz Ferris gave her, explained everything about Mike Rinder for me. It's not his stirring up. Dung heap, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I said a bunch of those things yesterday as far as my take on, this back and forth is like, one quote side, SPT and SPTV in general, and now being accused of from a supposed expert analyst, media, social media expert. Their analysis of SPTV in general was basically a bunch of drama channels. And this expert turned out to probably not be an expert after all. And to kind of this whole thing of this Darvo thing, I feel like it's like, why do you keep going? Why do we keep seeing blog posts then if we're not, if you're not in social media anymore? So yeah, I think there's a balance for me. It feels like a balance of not engaging, but also when there comes a time to expose the truth as well. Especially when it's a concern in the community. And I like to talk to you guys about things. I like to be able to give you a platform to give feedback and ask questions. So Sin K, hi there. We haven't seen you in a little while. Great to see you. Comment: As an empath, I've had to learn to set up walls so I would be safe from a narcissist. Yeah, yeah. Protect yourself. Exactly. Yeah. What do you think, guys? I mean, I'm sure this is something that um you can do as far as like looking into it. I'm sure there's, like I said, books and materials out there of like how to spot one in the beginning where you're not finding yourself having to distance yourself. Because I don't want to be, do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be untrusting. I don't want to not trust anybody, but I don't know. It's like, how do you spot somebody before it's too late? And now you have a mess on your hands and you don't want to not be friendly with them anymore, but you feel like they've overstepped, you know? I don't know. George Massey, private block, public unblock sounds reasonable and sensible. Right. Thank you. Right. Thank you. That's what I was thinking is I don't know. I just feel like then, you know, they have to be accountable to everyone and not like be kind of going behind lines, and trying to get to you. So Choice is yours. Thank you. I know I have a hard time making it, but of course, I'm not going to be like, you guys told me what to do. It's just I like to hear the feedback, because some things I have a hard time knowing what to do. So, Pamela, I think only allowing public discussion is a good boundary. They can talk to you in public or not at all. Yes, and in the cases I'm thinking of, and at least two cases that come to mind, they were saying the opposite, that you shouldn't speak about things in public, that everything should be behind lines in the family, which that triggers me when people say that. I don't like that at all. That it should be quiet and not public. And yeah, that's good for your good friends that you can trust, but not for people like this. I think it should be public or not at all. So, you know, SM Stenval, hi there. Comment. So many people complaining, trash talking behind the curtains in Discord, etc. Few have the guts to come on stream and talk it through, say things face to face. Quite telling, to be frank. That's how I feel about it too. I mean, I just happen to agree, right? That's my approach. It could be a different perspective based on, you know, like we talked about yesterday. That's how I perceive to be the best way to do it, based on my perspective and my past experiences. So, mm, comment. I'm trying to get. Okay, I think there's two parts to this, I believe. Okay, so that's the first part. Uh, Comment part two. I appreciate your open, straightforward, and genuine attitude and responses. Thank you. I appreciate that too. I'm trying, guys. I know that's why I bounce things off you, because there's a lot of smart people in this community, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't care. So that's how I feel. You know, um, Joe McQuain, hi there. Comment are regarding yesterday's stream. I watched his live stream from a few days before. It was an example of we be right, you must do as we do. If not, we will call you names. Sad, needs to wake up or shut up. Yeah, the accusations of the name calling, I don't recall calling them any names, but I think you're right. I think that approach is wrong, and I think telling people to get their heads out of their asses and then quoting me and some of my creator friends, yeah, got my head out of my ass. I certainly have. Yep, I have. um, George Massey. I think we all have narcissistic traits that carry over from childhood. All children are naturally narcissistic. That's a good point. But we have to learn to control them and address them when we spot them in ourselves. And that sounds very healthy. Thank you for that. That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Nope, that's a no. That's a creator that's a never in. But Amy Lee wants to know, was this person from yesterday's stream a former Scientologist? Nope, not. They are not, and neither am I. So that's, not saying anything against them, but they're not an ex-Scientologist. Um, Mischief Managed comment, Marilyn. Hearing that you can see some traits in you too makes it less scary. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're all things that I think that some like selfishness is good, because you don't want people to walk, all over you all the time. I think it's all about a balance, right? I do seek approval. I'm asking you guys to, give me some feedback, but I also want to know when I'm off, because I do want to grow. I don't want to just have everybody disagree with me all the time. I like to hear input. But yeah, I think what George said is very, very valid. When you're younger, when you're a little kid, you're just naturally selfish. You're just trying to survive, right? So it makes a lot of sense. And having my own children really made me more self-aware of my own traits, and to be able to receive, feedback and criticism, because I don't want to mistreat them or make them feel like they have to always get my approval or always be walking on eggshells, and that's how I felt with Marlene, and I didn't want that for them at all. So, tip 45, comment, we can do a group self-hug. Yes, we are all survived. Yeah, everybody has survived everything, and, something, right? Everyone is a survivor of something. So far, guys, we all have a 100% survival rate. So, we can, we can celebrate that. Yeah. Group hug, yes, love that. Uh, oh, massive comment to that social media expert, "When we need your advice, we'll pay for it." Right? Absolutely. Which is probably never, right? Um, Wolf Machine, hey there. I have like 4 textbooks on personality disorders. Still don't have the answer, LOL. Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. Um, uh, Asen, comment, look past the personal love bombing, uh, how they treat other people, is it? They can't help themselves. Hmm, good point. John Van Geest. I found that people are more far more honest in their actions versus what they say. Watching how people are is more revealing than their words. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Oh, little Mink, hey there. Good to see you. Woohoo. Good evening, Marilyn. Been a while since I've caught a live. Missed you in real time. I missed you too. So good to see you here. Glad you're here. Gotta just going down the line here. Wolf machine, the love bombing can be very disorienting. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Brandy, you're a fine girl. You're a fine girl, Brandy. Not to love bomb you or anything. I'm an awful question asker. I slowly get better, but I think of questions after the fact. I was raised to be that way. And now I tell my kids all the time, ask all the questions, make it uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah, my youngest, my son, my baby would say to me, "Mom, you used to say like, think because I said so, or just trust me or whatever." And he's like, "I need to know things." And he's like, "I'm glad you stopped doing that." He's like, "I need to know all the things." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right, Carter. Age appropriate, but yeah, let them ask the questions and give them an answer." I agree with that. Because very old school was just like, because I said so, you know. So Susan P. comment. Someone said we all need to work together, then attacks other creators. Makes no sense. Yeah. I actually listened to yesterday's stream that I did with Duncan, and I was like, honey, just tell me, please tell me if I was being toxic. And he was just like, no, because he would tell me. He would tell me in a nice way, but and not that his opinion is the end all be all, but yeah, it was like I just don't get it. I don't understand. And I think if you want to appeal to these people, you don't break into their streams and call and say they're being toxic. I just don't think it's a good idea. And telling people what to do and not to speak, you know, that's just not the way, in my opinion. Anyways, that's not how I roll, and it's not really what I respond to at all. So, Lumitawa, go with your gut. It takes at least a year to get to know someone is a rule that I use. I don't get to you don't get to be a close friend. Might be from being an army brat moving every 3 years. Hmm, yeah, that sounds very reasonable. Yeah. All right, guys, been going about an hour and a half. I will um maybe pick up a few more here. Sushiful. Comment, to identify a narcissist, look for the first change in a story that benefits the person. It's always a red flag for me, leads to gaslighting. They are never wrong and will not apologize. Oh, I'm keeping that start because I want to go back and read that a few more times. Yeah, for the first change in a story that benefits the person. Always a red flag for me, leads to gaslighting. They are never wrong, will not apologize. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna start that and look at it later. Thank you for that. Um, okay, just going down the line here. Any more questions or comments? I'll pick them up. I know I missed some of them. Um, John Venke's comment: the important thing is accountability, and you are a person who wants to be accountable. That's a great thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think that's a good point. Is if someone is expecting you to be accountable to them, but they won't listen to any of your feedback at all. Number one, they're not a very good friend, and number two, it feels like very uneven, and yeah, that's been the case in some cases in this even in this space. Um, just so happen to be males. I'm not saying anything, like sexist, but yeah, I think maybe some certain people think that they can push me around. And I guess I got to be more tough, but I don't want to be mean. And I think I've been pretty forthright. I'm trying without being, I don't know, I don't want to be mean and toxic. So, yeah, these are the things that were kind of going through my head. And one of the reasons why I was planning on coming on this morning, and then, you know, my good friend Liz Ferris, and she is a good friend. And there's nothing, I don't see anything narcissistic about her. She's very, very caring. And she helped me to see that I can do this, and it's it's worth just keep keep talking, keep fighting for what's right and for truth. And yeah, I'm not out there on the front lines. That's not really something I can do right now. It's going out there and protesting, but I can help expose the abuses, keep things going. And also I don't appreciate how people like Miriam, Liz, and different people were treated by the Aftermath Foundation and other situations regarding Scientology and when they've left, since they've left Scientology. So I'm not going to shut up about that. Yeah. So that's what I got to say about that. All right. Just trying to catch up here as best I can. You guys, thanks for the trigger warning again. Appreciate that. I think I'm almost caught up. Gigantic red flag. Yeah, there are some definitely to I'm gonna look into that. Maybe we can do um more of a study into that of even how not only how to break out of it, or like to even spot it in a person. Like you can see sometimes they don't always show that. So it's some of the feedback I've gotten, it's really been really helpful. So bye Brandy. Great to see you. Sea Spirit, Marilyn, you are tough and kind. People who don't like that are only upset because you won't let them breach your boundaries for their benefit. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I think that some in some cases, even in this space that I've noticed is that there can be different motivations, sorry, did it again. Um, different motivations for certain behaviors and actions, because like I said, certain people would never dare to break into someone else's stream and do it. They think they can get away with it with me. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they feel like they're entitled to um me or something I have, that they're jealous. I don't know what the problem is, but I just gotta be myself, and I feel bad when, I lose friendships, but I guess it really wasn't that good of a friendship to begin with. So, yeah, I guess I just have to face that and grieve it and move on. So, mm. TN Jenny, my thoughts on life. Don't be a Rodney, and I don't have to wait, don't be a Rodney. I don't have to like you to be polite and work with you. If you go beyond what I find acceptable, I will remove myself from the area and go no contact. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. SM Stenville, I've had such a long and exhausting day, week, month, and feeling so tired and almost depressed. This discussion here feels like a warm, comfy blanket. I feel like I can breathe more easily. I'm so glad. I'm so glad for that. I, yeah, I was hoping it wouldn't be too heavy of a topic to talk about, and I'm grateful that you feel that way. I'm really happy that you feel that way. So. Um, PSN and cat food, comment they're mistaking your kindness for weakness. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel very kind sometimes, but thank you. Tip 45. You guys are so loving and encouraging to each other. Support, love, and backing is something these kids haven't had, and we aren't going anywhere. That's right. Yes, we love the gems, all the gems. First, second, third, fourth, all of them. Yeah. So guys, before I end this, I want to show you some great pictures. I'm so excited, really excited. Um, let me just get um, the right thing here. One sec. Right. Mm. Okay, I meant to show these earlier, and then my computer cut out, so I had to reboot it. So let's do this. All right. Okay, here we go. This came in from I think it's Jane Doe. Jane, I think it's me, Jane. It's me, Jane. This was a baby blanket that her mom made years ago. She said her mom made it for her daughter, for Jane's daughter. I believe it was 26 years ago, and it still looks in great condition. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I love seeing other people's crafts. Can you see it? Okay, I'm just gonna switch over and look. Okay. And then next, this came in from Carrie, our friend Carrie. This is Eddie. I believe she's a she. Look at all ready for Easter. So cute. Aw, that's adorable. This is from Ace. I still haven't figured out. I gotta look up. You said Asen or Ison. I gotta figure out how to pronounce it. But Ison K. This came in from her, and she makes some beautiful um, doll costumes. And this is not sure Daenerys from Game of Thrones. I don't know Game of Thrones that well, but look at that. Oh my god. Those are like amazing. So perfect. And anyone knows Game of Thrones probably knows who that is. I mean, that's just like a replica. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how you do it, but I love it. Love it. And then the next one I'm a little bit familiar with. This is a costume that she did. Barbara Streisand and Dolly. Look at the outfit. It is so intricate. I'm just amazed. You're so talented. Just love that. And next came in from, let's see, got Bonnie sent these in. That is China and Bowie. Look how cute. Oh, I think China's in the back. Oh, just gorgeous coloring. Gorgeous kitties. I love it. Makes me want a kitty. And then next came in from Gail. This is Maddie just chilling on the recliner. Look at the eyes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful eyes. Okay. Next came in from this is Mary. Look at that. Beautiful. That is Mary makes vintage Japanese fabric, hand quilted. Uh Okay, so she used vintage Japanese fabric and hand quilted it using metallic gold thread. I'm just staring at it like, wow, how does that even that is just so pretty. Love it. Okay, and last but not least, I have a ton of them, guys, but you can keep sending them. You can either email me to at Coffee Cults and Crafts, or there's a featured uh what do you call it, thread post at the top of Coffee Cults and Crafts Facebook group. If you haven't joined it, feel free to join it, and just check off that you read the rules, and also like where you heard of it, and I'll accept it, and then you can send me a picture through there too. It's nice to have that, because then I can just keep going on the line. Down the line, I think I have a ton of them still that I haven't put up, but I'm putting up probably like 5 or 6 entries a day, or not entries, but I'll eventually get to all of yours, all of them. So the last is Valerie sent this in. Look it, and this is Rush and Nancy. Aren't they gorgeous Goldens? Oh, I just wanted to stop and stare at all of them. Just beautiful. Thank you guys. This is awesome. I always love ending on a nice note and seeing all of your beautiful, yeah, quilts, yeah, and send me in some anything, within reason, right, guys? But any pets, doesn't even have to be furry pets. You can send in just, I don't know, take a picture of like a rock near your house, a mountain, a lake, anything. Definitely anything that you might be building, or anything you want. So, and Cinderella's glass slipper sending hugs for those who need it today. Absolutely. Best endings on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are all providing all the cuteness. I love it. Yeah, isn't that quilt amazing? Absolutely incredible. So many talent. Yeah, so much talent. So much talent. Right? Uh, Eagerly waiting for the new foundation. Yes. So the good work can continue. I agree. I agree. Oh, you swallowed a lot of fake fur making the outfit. I bet it was just gorgeous. Gorgeous reproduction, people are saying. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. It was just so great hanging out with you twice today. Oh my goodness, this has been awesome. And thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Yep. Send me some waterfalls, anything. Great. Bye, guys. Have a great day.